It lit up by itself.
Are you stuck in there? What was it?
I'm not.
I keep hearing these bangs. Oh my god!
My name is R.C. Davis. Ever since I was a kid, I've had strange experiences that cannot be explained. Frustrated with not finding answers in books, the internet, and television, I decided to buy my own equipment to conduct my own investigations to find the answers that have eluded me all these years. I will travel to the most alleged haunted locations as well as other unknown places for paranormal activity and to see what exactly is going on there. This is DPI. Do anything behind my back. We traveled from the flatlands of Florida to the mountain state, West Virginia, to investigate this place. The former West Virginia Penitentiary is 157 years old. With 129 years of service, it saw murders, suicides, riots, and executions.
We are going to have to talk about hangings, because we actually did way more hangings than we ever did electric chair kills. All the way to 1949, we did our executions by rope.
85 men were hanged, with one meeting a more gruesome fate.
I already did the guy was decapitated, that's why they stopped the code. Yeah, we did that. One of the last guys we hanged was Frank Heyer, the big guy. There's actually a science to hanging someone. You have to calculate height and weight versus length of the rope. And if you do it right, it's like flipping a light switch. It breaks the neck and it's game over. If you do it wrong, they either strangle for 11 minutes or pops their head off like Frank Heyer.
Heyer admitted to killing his wife and sentenced to hang, but lost his head in the process. Prison was on the top 10 list of the most violent prisons, and so many complaints ensued.
Big major complaint, and the final nail in our coffin was overcrowding.
The prison was originally built for 800 men, and in the late 20s, early 1930s, they had over 2,700 inmates.
Not a good average.
And part of the reason I think that a lot of these guys died from, the sicknesses. You can only imagine.
They were 3 times what they built it for.
Right. So, yeah, sickness just spread like wildfire in here.
This Gothic prison has documented almost 1,000 deaths, including 36 homicides.
When they found him, they said some of the tips of his fingers were severed. They said he was more or less decapitated with just a little bit of his hanging on.
94 executions. And with all these deaths, there's bound to be a mountain of paranormal activity inside. We continue the tour to the contact visitation room, where there is a display made by an inmate for the museum across the street.
It's built by an inmate. His name was Dale Bragg. He actually signs the rocker for you by the Dead Rabbit. He built that for the Mound Museum across the street. You guys probably saw the big mound outside.
That's the largest Adena Indian mound of its kind.
Yeah, we were there for the last 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really cool place.
Really cool. I really love the history of like 2000 years old.
Yes.
The Grave Creek Mound Archaeological Complex is located right across the street from the prison. Along with fossils and Ice Age animals, it also has 12,000 years of human history with artifacts and exhibits. Right now we're going to go up the mound. This burial mound was constructed over 2,000 years ago by the Adena, a Native American group. I'm out of breath. Holy crap. That's pretty cool, huh?
So this is the new cafeteria. It's built in 1987, so 36 years ago. It's built as a direct result of a big riot that happened here January 1st, 1986. The reason the inmates rioted, the cafeteria was disgusting back then. The inmates got tired of eating that way, in that filth, and so they took over the whole prison in a big riot that lasted 52 hours. They take 16 officers hostage that day, and they take 3 inmates hostage. And then they elected a leader. They elected a guy named Danny Lehman, and he was their lead negotiator. Well, it just so happens that in 1986, the governor of West Virginia was Arch Moore, and he actually came to the prison to negotiate with Danny. Danny had a list of about 14 demands, and the governor and Danny haggle back and forth for about an hour, and they agree on one. Danny wanted a clean new cafeteria, a clean new kitchen, and he wanted central air and central heat above his head. That's the 86 riot in a nutshell.
Danny would never see the completed cafeteria as he was murdered later that year.
The kitchen, we tend to get a lot of activity in. Any Ovilus PX devices, ITC, things like that, you have a lot of good luck with back in the kitchen, we find. Spirit boxes as well. We get a lot of shadow activity here in the dining hall, usually moving between that kitchen door and the 2 windows or vice versa. I even have a photo that was captured of a shadow over in that corner if y'all want to see it later. But it's a good area.
2 basketball courts, or bullpens as we call them in the corrections world, behind me were not built until 1968. Before 1968, where these 2 basketball courts are, is where the death house and the gallows used to be. We got rid of the death penalty in 1965. They saw it was never coming back, and so they leveled the death house and the gallows, and they put in these 2 bullpens.
We now travel to what was the most violent part of the prison.
This is North Hall, this whole section here. This is the worst of the worst. The officers called this cell block Blood Alley because out of the 998 deaths on property from suicide and murder, a majority of them happen in here. Every way that you can kill a man, it's happening here. They were lit on fire, stabbed, hanged, bludgeoned to death, you name it, it's happening in this cell block. So these 4 cells do not have 3 guys in them at a time, although they are the same size as the cells that did. These 4 are the gang leaders, okay? Worst inmates we have are these 4 right here, and the very worst one is that one down on the end there. The one that has Aryan Brotherhood scrawled in the wall, that is William Red Snyder's cell. Red Snyder is a bad dude. He actually kills guys while in prison, and he murders his way up the gang until he becomes the king of the Aryan Brotherhood. In November of '92, Red is stabbed 37 times. Red actually dies on the floor of that cell. So one guy's on the top bunk, one couple guys on the bottom bunk, and then when we got overcrowded, we threw a third guy in there. They literally fist fought, and the little weak guy ended up on the floor. If your head's on the inside of the door, and I don't like you, they put this bean hole at neck slicing height. We had 4 guys get stabbed in the neck or the head through this bean hole before everyone started sleeping with their feet by the door, because it's better to get stabbed in the boot than the jugular vein.
Lee now takes us out to the rec yard where the chapel is, one of our hotspot locations.
Chapel is built in 1980. It cost around $20,000, which in 1980 was actually a pretty good chunk of change. Legally, that has to be an all-faith chapel because we are state property and we have a separation of church and state. So Jews, Muslims, Protestants, Catholics, Luciferians, Satanists, pagans, Wiccans are all allowed to use it. But welcome to West Baghdad, Virginia. We put a cross on top of her anyway, because that's the way it works around here, guys.
There's this lady and her daughter that were in there, and they were sitting on one of the pews, and they were the only ones in the chapel, and they were kind of quiet, you know, they weren't really asking any questions or anything, but they're sitting there, and they told us that they started hearing something moving around in like one of the rooms behind them, which would be one of the front rooms of the chapel. And shortly thereafter, they said that, because they told us it felt like the pew was moving with them in it. Of course, I wasn't there, Lori wasn't there to experience that, but judging by how fast they ran into the lobby and the expressions on their faces, I would say something, I mean, they seemed genuinely spooked by whatever that was. So, like I said, that is a good area. We've also had shadow activity over in that chapel. It doesn't look like it, but it's actually two stories. Yeah, that's an interesting building.
This hallway is what they call Shadow Man Hallway. Well, the lady who rented the building that particular night, she's walking from the red door back to the lobby. When she said she got on the other side of this tile, so somewhere right in here, when she said she heard a metal-on-metal noise behind her that made her stop and spin around, and this is where she took the now famous Moundsville Shadow Man picture. Right in front of that cafeteria door, she caught a 6.5-foot tall shadow figure. Her photo made the newspaper, and that's what brought MTV here.
But yeah, this was the old solitary confinement.
Jason now takes us into the old boiler room, or hole, where 2 men were found murdered.
Okay, yeah, he's in there. Flying back. But the room on the left-hand side over there, that would have been basically the home to a trustee inmate here, a guy that was known as RD. His real name's Robert Daniel Wall, but they called him RD. That the other inmates considered him to be one of the warden's favorite snitches. So it was October 8th, actually, 1979. 2 inmates, Billy Cremines and Charlie Plants, they gained access down in here. They went into RD's room, but they started stabbing him in there. I guess he got up, he tried to run a little ways and try and get out naturally, but he didn't make it out of the room. They got him back down in the middle of the floor, literally more or less in the center of that room, his room, and that's where he was finished off. When they found him, they said some of the tips of his fingers were severed. They said he was more or less decapitated with just a little bit of his head hanging on. But about 10 years before his death, a murder that a lot of people don't know about down here, it was in 1969, a guy named Bernard Griffith. Bernard Griffith was found dead in this area from, it was blunt force trauma to the head from like a pipe. Yeah, this was his room, and when they found him, he was more or less in this area right here, but his bathroom is back in that corner. So
We head to the infirmary where Jason starts checking for bats.
So up here we may have a bat up there, I don't know. So this is all infirmary. That room right there was your emergency room. I mean, y'all can imagine, you got a lot of death up here, of course. If you were to ask me where the most active area in the prison would be, I would tell you probably up here in the terms of...
flew out.
The bat flew
Right over your head.
Oh my god.
He almost
Get
hit
that
you.
on camera?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh. You alright?
Well, I'm fine. I'm deathly afraid of bats.
At least it flew at me and not you.
Oh my god.
You're caught in the hair, Joe.
Oh
Yeah, that was like right above your head.
god.
Tie that backwards over.
Oh my god. And when he done that, it removed one of his eyeballs and rested more or less right here on his upper cheekbone by the tendon. And he survived that. You know, I've
It
heard
sounded like it latched.
it does kind of sound that way. But see, it's those kind of louder noises is what I'm talking about. And sometimes you'll hear a lot of those up here. Yeah, that was pretty good, but we'll see. Usually we have a bat in here. Okay, I think we made a mistake. Like I say, I am like
God.
where is he?
He's flying, he's flying, he's flying.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Where are you flying to?
He flew down, he flew down.
Dogs. Sorry about that. Oh shit! There he is. Sorry about that.
Alright, he's still over you.
Oh my god. I'm holding this button down.
He went down.
Did he go up?
He went down, he went down.
He went down there.
He went down here again, so he's down here with me.
He went into the gate.
Oh shit. Okay, so he's gonna come back out again.
We should go back the other way.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you.
The last stop on the tour is the Sugar Shack, a recreation room where fighting, gambling, and raping occurred.
You see that?
Yeah.
He was flying all over. That one hanging there, or is that a still for?
Where is it? Oh shit, that's a bat. No, that is a bat right
That
there.
is a bat.
Yeah, that's a bat. Okay. But yeah, this right here was indoor recreation, so this was used on bad weather days. Anytime it was usually below freezing or thunderstorm, what have you, they would bring your general population, mainline inmates down here in groups of usually no more than 100 at most, down here at a time for a couple hours, just to get them out of the elements. So this is a really good area. If I was to have to pick 3 good spots in the prison to investigate, I would say Medical, North Hall, and the Sugar Shack.
Having finished the tour, we start setting up the rest of our cameras. We have 8 stat cams covering 6 locations, starting with this one in the Shadow Man Hall. This is where a girl snapped a pic of a shadow man standing by this door. The chapel. This is where loud noises and poltergeist activity have claimed to be. The hole. Artie Wall and Bernard Griffith were found murdered here. The kitchen. Shadow figures have been claimed to be seen here. We have 3 cameras covering North Hall, with one in cell block A, another in cell block B, and then finally, one covering the day room, which is in front of the 2 cell blocks. Sugar Shack, where people have claimed to see apparitions, shadow figures, and hear voices. Still setting up the equipment, the stat cam from the hole captures this anomaly. This could be just a speck of dust reflecting the IR light, but it is still interesting enough to include it in this investigation. About 36 minutes later, the cat ball we put on the chair lights up. Could this be Artie Wall or Bernard Griffith letting us know that they're still here? About 19 minutes later, you can hear our day room stat cam shut off. Then some noises. Then the cat ball in cell block A lights up. More noises. Then 2.5 minutes later, it sounds like a cell door slamming. Without knowing all this activity going on, we get locked in and start the investigation.
Are you blind? There you go, okay.
Okay, so we just got our camera set up. We're in Moundsville Penitentiary. Now we're running with the SLS. I can't see anything in front of me. There could be a wall right in front of me. Not using the flashlight.
Don't want to use the flashlight to evade bats. Go left, go left. You're about to hit a wall. Oh my god!
At this time, the chapel stat cam starts picking up these sounds. But after review, these same noises are heard all throughout the night, so I debunked them as just being machinery, pipes, or something mechanical in the area.
So tiny. Okay, don't walk into the camera. Go to the right a little bit more. And run into the tripod. Okay, you're good. Imagine that overturns me so you don't hit the cat ball.
Heard that, right? Is there anybody in here? You sure you saw from the SLS? Oh, they don't know what that is. Watch the ground, make sure you don't trip over those pipes.
Yeah.
Anybody in here in the kitchen? Is that you over there?
What are you doing?
You're not guiding me, man. I'm like walking right into your freaking oven. We now make our way over to North Hall. Those steps, boy. Can't see.
How?
Dude, this isn't infrared light, okay?
Yeah, but you could just look away from the tablet.
I can't see anything. By the way, the lights that you're seeing is infrared light. We can't see anything. We're in the darkness, except for when he uses that flashlight. And this is such a big location. We got these belts on, so we have everything we need. So we won't have to keep going back to Nerve Center, which we've already been back to about 3 or 4 times already. I'm not seeing anything, so let's just hit North Hall.
North Hall? Okay. Oh my god, I didn't know that was it. Where are you going? That's the wrong door. It's over here.
North Hall was the most violent part of the prison.
They were lit on fire, stabbed, hanged, bludgeoned to death, you name it, it's happening in this cell block.
Okay, luckily. Oh my god! You hold it. Okay, watch your head now. just put your hand out.
Well, you realize this also is in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like you were walking to the right.
Yeah. Why is that one closed?
See how the cells are on this side? It's throwing me.
Just come over here. Just come over here. You're gonna see me on the SLS.
Is there another pole in the way?
No, you're fine.
Anybody's in here, can you show yourself to us? We heard you're a bad crowd. Show us how bad you are.
Watch out for the pole. To your right.
Block.
Here. Okay. Go.
Is this the doorway?
No.
Where does this go?
It's a plot. Keep going, you. Get it. Then over here.
I don't see anything down there.
Do you want to head back then?
You can tell me there's nobody here in North Hall? Scream really loud. Anybody in these cells?
Watch out for the... What was that?
That little knock.
Yeah.
It sounded like it came from back there.
Nice.
Oh. Does this mean there's no way I'm seeing that in this one?
Christ.
I wonder if that can still get it in.
I would think so.
Make sure that ball is still on the camera.
Where is it? It's right there. I think it's still on the camera. Just watch out for the tripod.
Let's stay over there and light it up so I can see.
Oh, okay. So you... It lit up by itself.
That lit up by itself?
I did not...
These cat balls are not motion sensors. You have to physically touch them for them to light up.
It's still going off.
I can't even see it in the camera. Get your camera off of it. Oh, I can see it lighting up. You probably had your camera on it too, so they couldn't see it in the camera. Did you film it?
Yeah. I just heard footsteps into a cell.
What?
In a cell.
Where?
Like I heard sound. And it's still going off.
Are you in there?
Look
Did
in,
you hear the bang of it there?
yeah, look into that cell. See if there's anyone in there. See if there's anyone in there.
You in the cell? In here?
Yeah, it's in there. See if anyone's in there.
Anybody in here? You're back. Where are you gonna go? Your hair is getting in your ears and sound like footsteps.
No, I'm being genuine. I heard that right behind me. And while the cat ball was going on.
You're in here and you want to talk to me. What's your name? Are you still locked up in here? You die in here? You don't want to talk? Did you kill somebody in here and then get killed yourself? Any spirits in here communicate through this device. Just yell really loud. What's your name? I think what I want to do is go into that cell, like that racist was made of it. I think what is it, Red?
Red is stabbed 37 times. Red actually dies on the floor of that cell.
Are you in here when you die? Are you stuck in here? You want me out of your cell? You have to push me out. How long did you stay in the cell? Why are you even here? Do you even exist? At this exact time, the cat ball around the corner lights up again. Could this be Red trying to communicate in a different way? Then, a minute and a half later, we capture what sounds like footsteps in the chapel.
Okay.
Come on, that wasn't there last time we were there. Whoa!
What did you do? Run it?
Go! Boy, I'm glad I hit it with both legs because that would have hurt hard. Alright, so right now we're going to the chapel if we can survive. We head into the chapel where a mother and daughter had an experience.
They told us it felt like the pew was moving with them in it.
Well, they said they were sitting in the pews. Oh, you don't want your back turned that way? Alright, you watch my bat, I watch yours. Can you rock this pew?
Can you make some noise for us?
You spend time in this chapel thinking you're going to heaven? Alright. Dude, I am the worst person tonight. In the dark. Do you send bats after people?
Don't say that. If so, send it after him. There's a bat, there's a bat, there's a bat. It's flying, it's flying. It went back into the room. Go down. It went out. It went out that way. It went out that door that you're to the left. It went out that way.
Are you sending your bats after us?
Can you throw one of these chairs?
Move that chair. In the middle of the room. Can you move it on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. No? You're not here? If you don't like us in here, send that bat after Jeff right now.
I'm gone.
We now go to the Sugar Shack.
Okay, watch your head.
I see it. Why don't you go first since you got it? Oh, here, give me this flashlight.
You have a flashlight. What are you talking about?
I know, but I don't know where it's at.
Okay. What's the point of your coat?
Is there anybody in here? Okay, the camera's still recording. Is there anybody in the Sugar Shack? Come here to say hello. Can you show yourself to us?
Oh, there's one. He's over there. He's in front of you.
What? No, he's not. He's a liar.
Yes.
Make a sound. Not you, bat.
At least with the hole, there's a room, like the room that we have specifically located the camera, like there's no bats in that room, and there's only one way a bat can come in. So I think we're safe. Time for this hole. How is that? Oh, okay. Okay, let's... Okay, we're fine. Okay, we just gotta watch out for this fricker. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did it bite you?
No, it's get the fuck out of me, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did it bite you?
No, it's get the fuck out of me, oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god.
This is pitiful. Bats were continuously and aggressively flying throughout the prison all night. So we have to debunk any evidence that can be contaminated by possible bats. And as far as us not getting contaminated with possible rabies, we have to be cautious for the rest of the investigation. Especially after what Jason told us during the walkthrough earlier.
My buddy Lori that I'm working with tonight, several years ago, she was walking through here one night and had one fly in her mouth.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, honest to God, yeah. She had to get like 16 separate rabies shots. Oh, shit. And just in the last 2 years, I've been hit directly in my face 3 times by those bats.
Oh my
directly
God.
in my face.
We now head back to North Hall. Are you down here? Can you hear me? Hello? I'm just going to turn my digital recorder on. Turn my digital recorder on.
Okay.
We'll roll on right here. Or...
I haven't even turned down the other one.
What'd you say? Oh, rabbit.
Rabbit. Not rabbit.
I thought it said rabbit. I was like, well, that makes sense.
I hate having to feel around for this.
Down there? Right at this moment, we capture what sounds like a woman's voice, and it's only captured on Jeff's camera.
I hate having to feel around for this.
Down there?
I hate having to feel around for this.
You down there?
I hate having to feel around for this.
Down there? Also around this time, it sounds like something is being pushed or dragged in the chapel. I again try to make contact with Red, who was murdered in this cell. You know the drill, convict. But it's interrupted as we hear footsteps coming from cell block A. What's wrong? I heard that. What was it? You hear footsteps on there? We keep hearing these noises coming from cell block A.
Is someone down there?
After reviewing the EVP session, I didn't pick up anything on the digital recorder. I guess you didn't want to talk, huh? You just want to make noises out there? We'll just go out there and see. In any of these cells? No? Let me hear you scream. Slam one of these cell doors shut.
It's gonna be me stopping. I'm just gonna see if the cat ball lights up. No, it doesn't. So when I was walking up, it actually went off.
Right now I'm running my other EMF detector. I don't have my millimeter for the first time. This one runs volts and milligauss, and it lights up and sounds an alarm when you get close to anything that gives it readings. Unfortunately, it'll light up for either one, and we get a lot of beeping and lights just for regular voltage. We start doing EMF sweeps, and the bats start toying with us. But this time, we are oblivious and apparently more blind than they are. Well, there's got to be something right here.
No, it's concrete. It's just concrete.
Is it my camera making it go? It says 0. Oh, there it goes. No, dude, that sounded like somebody unlocked the door.
.1.
Someone back there. So, we just keep hearing a lot of sounds. Getting some weird EMF spikes. I don't think it's anything paranormal. They just hear an old building, you know? It's got weird wiring in it. The Raccoon Paranormal Society joins the investigation, and they decide to check out Shadow Man Hall. But they came unprepared, unfortunately, by not bringing any equipment, and since I don't speak raccoon, I can't determine if they found anything.
Still in the cell?
Come down in each one of your cells. Right about this time, we capture what sounds like a moan in the chapel. That's the same noise we heard when we were in...
Is anyone there?
That was a door.
Hello?
One of the big doors. Boom. It sounds like somebody's just walking around over there messing with stuff. Hold on. I'm definitely not saying it's paranormal. I just don't think it's nothing.
It was constant. It was like a constant.
Like that.
No.
That was down there. Bug that just flew past me, or at least I think it was. The white anomaly just went.
Well, if it was a bug, I would have caught it.
Really, Jeff? After being completely oblivious, we decide to head back to Nerve to refresh, and as soon as we leave, the cell block A stat cam captures this voice sending us off.
You heard that?
That was a door slamming. Did you hear the second one? It was like right before you shut that door.
Yeah.
It goes boom.
You in here slamming doors?
Is anybody down here? Can you shut the door again?
What was that?
Who's back there?
We haven't heard any. That's the only safest option.
Right here now.
I extremely doubt that. They would be in here. End. Doing a time is oppressive unless you're a dog. And do some confessing.
Death, lifeless. Confess, hopeless, mindless, useless. Confess.
The flashlight shows kind of crap. Does anyone take a shower right now? Keep going. I'm not.
I keep hearing these banging. Power?
Here, come this way.
Something right here.
Here, let me go.
You got yours on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
There's some kind of power. It's probably right here. Inside that. At this time, the day room cam picks up a bang, then what sounds like a man talking. As we wrap up the investigation, the bats make one final attempt to drive us out. But we remain oblivious. The prisoners at the former West Virginia Penitentiary have long since departed. So we think. Many leaving by death. Is it possible that they are still lingering around? And if so, why? Are you stuck in here? This is the second investigation where I was told to get out. And it frustrates me not getting answers to the many questions I have. I guess you didn't want to talk, huh? With the history and added presence of winged and fanged creatures of the night, puts this magnificent prison on a different level.